Is it now time that we have some serious conversations around Reece James's future? Today, my friends, I'm here to discuss the latest club news and my predicted lineup for our game tomorrow afternoon against Leicester City, so we have a ton of things to talk about. Now, I have been away for nearly 2 weeks, and as I did let you guys know, I was away on holiday and I had some serious things to get done, and I'm happy to tell you guys that I did propose to my long-term partner in Vietnam. We had an amazing holiday and now I get ready for the next chapter in my life. So yeah, I'm back now, I'm ready to make content, but of course, as you guys can see, a lot of preparation and planning went into making sure that everything went down amazing. So I'm back now. Forgive me for my nasally voice, you know what it's like after these long haul flights. I'm feeling a bit run down right now, but there's so many things to discuss, and you know what, I have been missing making content, so I hope you guys enjoy the video, share your thoughts and opinions, and very quickly we have an amazing prize courtesy of the boys over at Football Prizes, where you can win a signed and framed Eden Hazard shirt. Make sure you guys participate before this competition ends in the next few days. You do have some time, and I do know that some people on my channel have won prizes. Shout out to the guy that won the hospitality tickets for the Newcastle game just a few weeks back. So my friends, you'll find links below in the description and card above. But now, let's get straight into things. Now, this intro today has been longer than I expected, so let's waste no more time and let's discuss the big story and conversation around Reece James. Now, of course, yesterday, news was first broken, and I'm sure all our hearts collectively did sink, and it was a case of here we go again. But today, we do have some updates coming out from Matt Law, and he reports that right now, everyone at the club, including Reece James, are nervously waiting for scan results to come through tomorrow. Now, let's pray nothing serious, but Matt Law has reported that currently Reece James is feeling a bit devastated by this latest setback. But we have to remember, currently at the time of this video coming out right now, because I'm discussing the latest reports today, we don't know whether Reece James for sure has any serious issues with his hamstring. All we know, or that's been confirmed, is that there is some inflammation around the area, which has postponed the club's ability to, of course, undergo scans to really find out the full extent of what's going on right now. So we can't forget that. Maresca revealed in his press conference that currently Reece James won't be playing against Leicester. He won't be playing in the Conference League game next week on Thursday, but he hopes that he may be returning back after next week. Fingers crossed these are good results. But of course, sadly for Reece James, there is a conversation in the fan base around Reece James's longevity at this football club, purely based on whether his body is actually fit enough or strong enough to keep on playing for us at this level. Now, for me, I think it's very harsh saying this, and I think we have to remember that this guy is a human being, and when you're constantly suffering these unfair setbacks time and time again, especially when you're putting in the work, when you're doing rehab, when you're strict with your diet, when you're doing all the things that you have to do, it's a real frustration that I'm sure a lot of us can empathize with. And I think right now, that's what Reece James needs. He needs that empathy. He needs that support from the fan base. He needs some kind words. You know, he doesn't need to hear that, oh, is this guy finished? Do we move him on? Do we sign someone else? I don't think this is the right time to have that type of conversation, especially when it's a young guy that needs that love, that needs that support. Currently, Reece James has posted on his personal Instagram account. Here's essentially what he had to say. And to break it down for you guys, Reece begins this by saying, listen, right now, this is a message that goes to the people that understand me and have the respect for what I'm currently going through. I appreciate you so much. Your support and kind messages go farther than you could ever imagine. And just to touch on me, I'm doing okay, being better, and also being worse. Another challenge ahead accepted. Eventually, I'll come out on top against all odds. Lastly, I'd like to touch on the festive period coming. These times are tough for everyone. I wish you all a happy and peaceful festive season. So I like that he ends things on a positive note. He thinks on the bigger picture, which is there's more important things than football. But I love the mentality Reece James has, and that is, I'm not giving up right now. I'm not going to give in to feeling sorry for myself, for feeling downbeat, to not have the energy or capacity to get ready for another challenge. That is what I want to see from my captain, to be honest with you. He has to get respect for that. But obviously, these setbacks are frustrating. He wants to play football. He wants to kick ball. He's had many professional setbacks which have stopped him representing England at the Euros, which is stopping him getting the minutes that he wants to be playing in, which is stopping his development at this point in time. Over the course of 50 months, he's had around 650 minutes worth of football. That is not great. That can't be ignored. And you think to yourself, would the club feel like maybe if we receive the right money, could we be open to possibly selling Reece James? Oh, now I know that there's definitely a conversation that can be had, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to talk to you about how I'm feeling about this. And if you ask me whether I'm selling Reece James in January or this summer, I'm probably saying no. I'm going to explain why. And the reason simply is who in the market currently is on his level or even slightly under his level that can come in and replace him just like that. Yes, we've seen Malo Gusto, of course, benefit from having additional minutes per season based on the current misfortunes around Reece James's hamstring. But realistically, if you're selling Reece, you're signing another competition figure at right back for Malo Gusto. That might not necessarily be a player better than Gusto. That's just another backup competition right back. And as I'm stressing on the market right now, you guys in the comments, give me 5 right backs, 5 fullbacks, wingbacks, whatever, that you would turn towards just like that could instantly replace Reece James. I'm sure a lot of you might be struggling to even think of 5 names on that level that we could even turn to during the season. We have talented youth like Achimpong, where listen, if you want him to commit to sidetrack, with Reece James now offering potential minutes on a platter, this is the opportunity for the football club to tell Josh, listen, we believe in you, we want you, stay with us, believe in us, ignore the interest from Paris Saint-Germain, from Real Madrid, Dortmund and other big clubs. You can have a future at this football club. See it like this, with how squads are developed these days, you essentially have 2 great players in each position, as this allows you to manage the loads better for what tends to be pretty, intensive seasons based on the amount of games you're playing every season. We already have 2 plus 3 great options in Josh, Reece and Malo, where realistically, I don't see many options in the market that could replace either one of them and instantly upgrade us or maintain that same level. I don't think we're in a position right now where we have to feel that temptation to even consider selling a Reece James right now. I think realistically, based on the fact that he hasn't been playing much football recently, his body needs to acclimatize to the rigorous demands of training every single week. Because remember last season, there was times he wasn't even on the training field because of the injury and of course recovering from surgery. I think naturally there are going to be some setbacks. Hopefully these setbacks won't be long ones of over 2 months, 3 months. But I'm expecting him to have more minor setbacks throughout this season, where next season he comes back fully stronger. I'm saying, even though Reece James isn't perfect, I don't think we're forced in a situation right now where we even have to entertain selling him for what would be a pretty devalued monetary amount. I just don't see it happening. So currently, I think all we can do right now is just have some faith and belief in our captain, give him that support, give him some grace, wait for the scan results to come through, and then we can see what happens. But I don't think the answer is even thinking about wasting our time entertaining sales or moving him on, because if we do move on Reece James, he won't be going to Aston Villa, he won't be going to Brighton, he'll be going to clubs around our level or higher. And that's just the honest reality and the truth. So my friends, they're my opinions. Share yours below. How do you feel about Reece James? Do you still have faith? Are you giving up? Do you just sympathize for him? Let us know how you feel around this story below. I'm going to discuss my predicted lineup for the game against Leicester City. Now, apologies if I'm sounding a bit mad today. I'm so congested. I don't know what's going on. But listen, let's step outside of that. Let's discuss the lineup. And for me, I think this is the most obvious lineup of the season. Of course, massive opportunity for Maresca, of course, to get a win over Leicester City. I think Leicester fans must show some respect, even though most likely They won't, because we took their manager and we took their best player just like that in the summer. But here's the lineup I'm going for. Up front, Nico Jackson, who the club have reportedly seen as one of the top 3 strikers in the league, which is a fair argument, but also demonstrates the fact that we aren't blessed with like world-class striker talent throughout the league yet. I think a lot of clubs have young forwards who can get to that level, but they're still like 2 to 3 years away. But the fact that we are publicly getting behind Nicholas Jackson, supporting him, I've always liked that we do that. The club is vocal about their ambitions and the potential they see in Nico. And I think Nicholas Jackson has had a very good 2024. And if he continues his scoring streak under Maresca tomorrow against Leicester City, that's only going to help his stocks rise even more. Now, to support him, I'm expected to see the usual supporting cast of Neto on the left, Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke. Now, some of you guys may feel Nini, with Enzo Maresca discussing Felix and Palmer together. That's been something he's been waiting to see and waiting to do. I think that may happen, but I think realistically, when the team fine-tunes the system and they're understanding just a little bit more, then I think Maresca will be ready to start tweaking things and introducing another offensive player into the team. I think that's what we're waiting for. But I don't expect to see that tomorrow against Leicester. If it does happen, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be entertained, but I'll definitely be surprised. But I think it will be the usual front 3. Noni Madueke, I feel like now that he's respected more in the league, he's going to have a more difficult second season. He doesn't have as much space to run in as he was having at the start of the season, because teams now respect him, look to close that space down, look to put 2 players on him, and look to really just get close to him to stop him gaining momentum on the run. When you think of Madueke, all the best work he's done has come when he's had at least 20 to 30 yards to run into space to play with. If that space is denied, it means that Noni now has to play a different game where he has to think more with his head. He's not being awful at doing that. It's just a different test, but I can see why Maresca is still including him in these lineups. So I still have some faith around Noni, but obviously Palmer and Neto speak for themselves. I've been saying Neto has been quietly forcing himself into the lineup now over the past 4 weeks. I think he's adding to the game with goals, assists, pre-assists and big moments. And of course, the equalising goal he scored against Arsenal, great goal. And currently, I think this guy's on course to still a first team spot for the foreseeable future. And with Cole Palmer, he speaks for himself. What is there to say? Let's hope he can get some goals and assists against Leicester. Now, midfield, I think that's clearly going to be Enzo and Caicedo. I still think we have to see more from them. Caicedo, of course, has really stepped up even more. Enzo has been a bit stop and start. I think the team benefits from his passing range, and I think he had a very good international break for Argentina, which he tends to do. And for Argentina, he tends to be that facilitator that kind of connects the field, and that's what Enzo does at his very best. I still really like Enzo. I think he just needs a run of games now to really find his form, because I want to see peak Enzo Fernandez. And peak Enzo is the Enzo where if he attempts that ball over the top 10 times, 8 or 9 times, he's finding his man. Currently, his efficiency rate is a bit low, and I think that simply comes down to maybe confidence at times, but I think he can get over that. Outside of that, defense speaks for itself, man. Cucurella on the left, one of the, unsung heroes of the season so far. Very impressed with him. Colwill, Fofana, Malo Gusto, and Sanchez in goal. I think Levi, Colwill, Fofana, they've shown this season that they've got great promise and potential, but they aren't the finished article just yet. Maybe Colwill can maybe be a bit too clumsy when he makes certain tackles here and then. And I think Fofana, positioning-wise, he can get caught with balls over the top. And I do think sometimes when he panics a bit, he can maybe telegraph his moves a bit too easily at times. But again, I look at Fofana. He's missed 2 years of football at a crucial age, and I see him having 21 years of experience in the game, even though he's 23 years old. So Colwill, Fofana getting a clean sheet against Leicester City is going to be something big for their development as they continue to grow and improve over the years. And I think Leicester's a great opportunity for us to get that clean sheet. And obviously, Gusto and Sanchez speak for themselves.